famous high-level languages are Python, Java, JavaScript, and Swift, etc. And some of the characteristics of high-level languages, it's an the first thing is abstraction, which is you need not worry about the low-level implementation like your CPU, memory, all those things. You need not worry, and it's in a natural language. It will be in English. Everybody can understand. If, loop, while, all those things are English words, you can understand it easily, and you can write it in Windows system, but still you can take the program, copy it to send it to a Mac machine, and you can execute it there. So it's portable. You can write in any one particular system and any one device, and you can execute it anywhere. You can execute it in Linux, Windows, Mac, anywhere you can write. So this is all about high-level and low-level language. Python is nothing but one of the high-level language. And the next major thing we are going to see is Python 3 versus Python 2. So every language has their version. Now it will be in one particular version, maybe version X, and tomorrow or day after tomorrow it might turn to version Y. So because they keep enhancing the language, and whenever there is a new thing coming, it will be in the next version. But like how your Android upgrade, you will be having in one version while you're buying your mobile, and whenever there is something updated, then you will be
Which we
getting a
have
new version. You
installed.
just have to install it. Similarly, Python 3 was the latest version, and before that there was only Python 2. And there are few differences between Python 3. People who have written in Python 2, they have to change their programming a little to run it using Python 3.
This was the app that got installed,
There is
right?
always a new
So this
version,
is the
and tomorrow
Android
you might
Studio.
get Python 4.
So
You
what
have
we
to
do with this
understand
Android
this
Studio?
Python 4. What is the difference between Python 3 and Python 4?
Why is Android
They are
Studio
always
required?
enhanced, and they are always changed. Any new feature will be added.
It's my
It's a
mobile.
constantly process of growing.
To
Okay.
write the code,
So why
right?
Python 3 came?
Hmm.
Let's see why from Python to Python
So
3
what
came
code you
and
would
what
write?
is there in the
Why it is required?
Python 3. So back in 2008, the creator of Python, who created Python, is
Just to mimic user
Theodore Van
actions,
Rossum.
we are
This
converting
person
the
who
user
written
actions into the
Python, who
code.
created Python, he was
So
very
Hmm.
then
happy with
RPM server will convert into this,
important architectural
communicate to
decision
this
that he made
host,
early in the Python
APM client.
stage. So initially he created a particular
Okay.
architecture and designed Python using it. But later he was not happy with it. He wanted to enhance and improve it. So usually what happens is he decided to overhaul, which means um, he decided to take some part of Python away from Python in order to make the Python have a good architecture. Okay, so what he did, he removed some bad pieces, what he felt as a bad pieces, and he added few things. He made it really well, and he released Python 3. But usually what happens when there is, even in Java, when you upgrade the version, you have to change some piece of your code to make it available for the latest version. Sometimes it will be version compatible. You would have written in the lower version, it would still be running in the higher version. But sometime it will be like you have to change it. The higher version will not understand what you have already written in the lower version. So it was a little trouble for developers. What they have to do is Python 3 is not backward compatible. When you have Python 3 in your workplace, but all you have written is in Python 2, it is not going to compile completely. Few things you have to change, not completely. One of few commands you have to modify, and then it is not ready for Python 3. So we had to do some changes to make it available for Python 3. So while talking about Python 3 and 2, I was telling Python 3 is not backward compatible. Anybody has any idea what is backward compatible? So usually when you have a programming language and changes are made to it, it is made incrementally. So incrementally means the old code will still run, but they will add new functionalities to it. They are those functionalities make the developer's life easy. But still, your old code, which you have written in the older version, will still be running in the new version. This is called backward compatibility. So the JavaScript written 5 years ago, if you try to run it now, there won't be any problem. Even there was a version upgrade, and it won't be using. Maybe whatever you have written in the past may not be having a new feature which was introduced in the latest version, but it will still work. Okay, you need not you it is not mandatory that you have to change everything. You might not be using the new features, but it would still work. But the Python 3 was opposite. It was opposite. So what happened? Application built on Python 2, their code, their libraries, everything they have done up to that point would not work if they are running in Python 3. That was the trouble the developers faced. And if they want their code to work, they want to run it with they have to run it with Python 2 only. They shouldn't come to Python 3. But now Python 3 is now very, very common. So what happened? They had to, most of the companies were going for Python 3 because it became common. Everybody wanted to go to Python 3, and the team had decided to migrate to Python 3. So it took a while. We had to rewrite everything, few things. We have to first understand what is new in Python 3 and what we have to change to make our code run in Python 3. And we have to understand it and we have to implement it. So it was a trouble initially while moving to Python 2 to 3. But going forward, we will not be having any issues if they are even releasing the new version. And you all guys will be understanding Python 3 directly. And we have to learn Python 3 only. But I will show some key differences between Python 3 and Python 2. So let me share my screen. Hi Tasneem. Yeah, please go ahead. What's your question?
I have a question. When did this transition from Python 2 to 3 take place?
It was in the mid of 2010 era.
Okay. So from 3 until now, it's still 3 going on. There is no 4 or 5, I read.
Yeah, no, there was no 4 or 5. And I guess Python 3 has everything. And even if they wanted to um, enhance release, we have few versions after 3, like 3, 3.1, 3.2. Now we have somewhere around 3.11 or something. There was a minor version keep releasing. And but so far so good. We had need not change anything. If you are learning 3, you need not change your way of learning or any of your syntaxes. You are good if you know Python 3.
Great. Thank you.
Is that a big effort that people had to migrate from Python 2 to Python 3? Is it like huge changes happened?
Yeah, so let me show it is a very simple change, but to change everything in your code, code base, it was an effort because it was an additional effort apart from what you had to do in your organization. Let me share my screen and show you this. I will post this in. Oh, okay. I was Sajoshna, you are telling my voice is not clear. Could you hear me now? Is it clear now? Sorry, I just saw your message. So let me show one simple difference. This is a print function, Python 2 and Python 3. So in Python 2, this is how you write your print function. If you want to print something, what you do is either you write like this, print, open, quotes, hello world. Okay. And then In Python latest version, you have to have a close and open bracket. Even in Python 2, we had close and open bracket, but still we were allowed to write like this. But what happened was people who have written all the print function like this in Python 2 will not run in Python 3. They will show some error. So if you are writing, if for example, this is Python 2 version of print, right? So if you have written like this and now you're executing in Python 3, you will have a syntax error. It will tell it's an invalid syntax. So imagine you are having print in one single program. You have 3 to 4 print function, and your code base has thousands of files, Python files. You have to change everything, right? Everywhere. So that effort we had to take. The changes were very minor and very easy to understand and change it. But the effort behind changing all your code base to make it work again was a little effort, and it was like we were little unhappy at the beginning when Python 3 was introduced. But after Python 3 was introduced, many of the new feature we got, and we were happy with that, which made developers' life simple. So this is a one
Is there
key
any
change.
reason why they kind of did these small changes also? Like it would have been better if they keep it like that, right? Is there any reason like computational advantage or something like that?
Yeah. So there were many reasons. The main architecture was he was not happy with the architecture. It was regarding the performance, the way it ran, and yeah, as you said, computational thing, the performance of your programming language, and few things were negating the other things when he was introducing few things which was having issue with the older things, old feature. So that's why he made it very simple. So for example, if you want to print multiple lines, you have to write two print here in Python 2. Okay, so here what I'm doing, I'm writing text and then I'm printing another print function. I'm having two print function in a single line. So we are calling this function twice. But in Python 3, you can write everything in one single line, and again, you can print the variable also. You can write your hard coded, this is nothing but it is going to print exactly same, and you can print value of a variable or everything you can do in one single line in instead of write going for two print. So there was the performance wise everything was better with Python 3. Any doubts?
If you separate the two print by a comma, does it mean that it will go to the next line in
No,
Python?
it will still print how you have written. If you have written everything in one single line, but with two print, it will still print. So, for example, you cannot combine a variable here. Only hard-coded value you can print in Python 2. If you have to get a value of a variable, then you have to go for a new print. You cannot do it with one print, but you
Mhm.
can still print it in the same line. See here, you see the whole text in the
Yeah.
same line.
Okay. Then
But
how
instead
would
of
this
going
affect
with
me?
two prints, you can instead of going with two different function, I mean two function in one single line, you are doing it in one single function, everything. So there were few other changes also. It's not just with the print. I was showing print because people who do not understand anything in programming, they can understand this. But there were many other changes, which was a better thing. Actually, what we got in Python 3 was always better, but the initial effort, we had to change everything, all our code bases. That was the only pain point. But otherwise, we were happy with Python 3. But you will be learning Python 3 only, and if at all, if in any of your organization, if they have written in Python 2 already, it would have been moved to Python 3 long back. So you need not worry about Python 2 and 3, but just for your knowledge, like what happened in the history of Python, I just wanted to inform about this. You can refer the link. I've posted it in the chat. You can go through it if you are really interested in knowing the differences. So now let's go to Python installation. I want everybody to install Python in their system so that from today or tomorrow you will be start writing your own code. If the installation setup is not done, then you will, I mean, you cannot proceed with your assignments or the programs we will be seeing in everyday session. So if everybody has access to system now, if I guide how to install, will you all be able to do it now?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So I just want reply from everybody. Could you post it in the chat whether you can do it now? Madhu, Sajoshna, Chandra, Fial, Lok, Radford. Okay. Okay. Sajoshna, what about you? Okay. Cool. Good. Let's first, before installing Python, let's first see whether you have Python with you already. So open your terminal. If you do not know what is terminal, go to your search in your system and search for terminal, Terminal.
That is for
Tasneem, if, sorry?
that is for Mac, right?
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
Windows has terminal. So Tasneem, don't worry, I can guide on Mac also. So open your, in your Mac, type for terminal. In Windows, if anybody do not have terminal, please inform. So there is no difference in programming between Mac and Windows. Maybe the installation, few things might change. And while installing, while downloading the software, other people will be choosing Windows 64. You will be choosing Mac OS version. That's all. But whatever you write in your Mac, you can still mail it to your Windows and you can still execute in your Windows.
So do we have any IDE or we'll go there once we get there?
What idea you're talking about?
Like IntelliJ or anything like that we will
Yeah,
use?
yeah, we will get. So I'll be using VS Code. I'm a fan of VS Code, and it's way much simpler than IntelliJ.
Okay.
So we will be installing it. But if you're already using some IDE and you're very comfortable with it, you do not want to use VS Code, you can still write your program there, and it's just like how you write in your Notepad++, right? Or Notepad. You are just going to write it, and only the differences we'll be using a different uh, IDE, but the way you run execute will be same. So,
Yeah.
but I'll be showing VS Code.
Okay.
So has everybody opened terminal?
Yeah.
So now what you have to do is, after opening terminal, type Python. So 1 minute, let me share my screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search, and this is my Windows. Even in the Mac, we can do the same thing. So when I give terminal and I just open it, it just point to some directory in the C. That's fine, wherever we are. I'm just going to type Python. And since I already have Python installed, it shows Python 3.11.4. So if anybody is getting this output, which means you already have Python in your system. And if you have 3 dot something, 3xx, we are good with the installation of Python. If you have Python 2, then we have to make it 3. If you get any error, like the command does not recognize something when you type Python, then that means you do not have Python in your system. We have to go from scratch, like how to install it. Anybody has Python already with you?
It took me to the marketplace of Microsoft Store, and there I have to download it, I guess.
Okay, but in the terminal, what you got? The output after you write Python.
After I typed Python, it took me to the
Okay, it
Microsoft.
automatically detected that you want a software. Cool.
Yeah.
And okay, so let
And
me
then after
post
I
this link.
downloaded, it says Python 3.12.7.
Okay,
I think that's the
so
latest.
yeah. So people who do not have Python in their system, they just have to launch this. Either it is Mac or Windows. Okay. So I'm also launching it, python.org. So yeah, if you do not have Python, you just have to open the link which I have posted in the chat, and here you see download, right? So it is telling latest version is 3.13.0, and you can go there. Here you see download page, and here you see an option Windows and Mac. People who are on Windows system can do this, and who are on Apple, they can click on this Mac OS. So I'm just opening Mac OS, and so here you should know what system you have, 64-bit or whatever your system has. So better go with 12.7 because this is still in the beta version, which is they are testing it out. They might have some functional issues. So this is a stable one, the latest and stable one. You can click on this and it will automatically download the software and start installing. Anyone has any doubt in downloading Python in your system? Please don't hesitate or wait because from tomorrow we will be having assignments. I will be needing screenshot of all the program assignments, and on the session, during the session, I will be giving some small questions and which you can go and type and give me the answer. Otherwise, it would be very difficult if we do not do it today. Okay, cool. So you just have to launch it, download, choose your operating system, and then later, since it is already installed in my system, so let me show how it appears whenever you wanted to install.
I have
So
some
after,
trouble in installing. Can you tell me for Windows what is the I need to download actually?
so 1 minute. Let me click here. Let me give you this link. I have posted a new link for Windows, and here you see Python 12.7 October 1. So here it's already telling these all the stable releases. This is also stable release. If you want 13, you can go ahead. But so it is already telling Windows 7
12.7.
or earlier. So if you're on Windows 7 or earlier, this cannot be used. But if you're in the latest version, Windows 8 and forward, you can just click this. And before clicking this, you have to know whether your system is on 64-bit or 32-bit. Okay, so under 12.7, choose the bit 34 or 64. Then you will see something like this after you download it. After the download, after it's completely download, you can click on it. Then you will see this setup page. A setup window will pop up in your system. Anybody having issue with downloads? This step? Guys, anybody has any issue with the downloads?
Actually, I'm
So
still installing. I
okay,
will let you know
let
if.
it install. Yeah. So people who have the download setup file, which it got already downloaded, you will have to open it. Whatever download you got from your Chrome, you open it. You will see like something like this: modify, repair, uninstall. Um, so during the installation, here you see use admin privileges, and here you see one more option: add Python exe to path. This is very important, guys. Please check this. Add python.exe to path. Otherwise, you had to set the path manually and you might face some issue there. So click on that add python.exe and later click on install now. Chandra, you completed it? Who has completed the installation now?
Yeah, I completed it.
Okay. So
But
after you have installed, so after you have clicked on that add Python exe and you installed, now you go back to your terminal
mhm.
and click on Python. So what is the output you see now, Mo?
I see 12.7, 3.12.7.
Okay, so now you also see this triple greater than, which means you are inside Python now. Whatever you type now going forward will be taken as a Python command. So you can type like this print in the open bracket hello, and I'm closing it. So click on, you will see hello. So your Python is working. Uh, so guys, yeah, I need confirmation from everybody else. Tasneem Chandra, Sajoshna, what is the status?
I'm still it is
Okay, it's
getting
still downloading, right?
downloaded. I think it is
Okay.
taking time for me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Take your time. Maybe you can do it
Yeah,
later also. Let
it's
it
saying
complete.
preparing.
Okay, no problem. So let that completely download. But the only thing is you will get this kind of screen. Okay. Initially you will get when you click on the downloaded exe, you will get this. Okay. And if I have already installed, I have to give uninstall the older version and install new one. So if you have the old version of Python, and you want to go for the new latest version, you can give uninstall, and otherwise you can just click on modify. Here you have to click on this add Python exe path. This you have to check. Initially it will be unchecked. You have to check it. Then you will see install button here. You just have to install it. Click on the install button. That's all you have to do. It might take some time to complete. Then later immediately verify. So here Tasneem, the only difference is you will be doing it Mac. You will be under the downloads. You will be going to Mac and you will choose your bit and you will download it. But when you want to verify in the terminal, usually for Windows it is Python. But for Mac it is Python 3. You have to mention. You can here I have given Python, right?
Yeah.
But in Mac it would be Python 3. Python will not be recognized. So here Windows is not recognizing Python 3. Similarly, Mac will not recognize Python. You have to give Python 3. Then you will get into this Python mode. Okay, that is the only difference between Mac and Windows as of now in installation. After going into Python, you can just verify with the print, or you can just give 1 plus 1. It should show you 2. And if you want to come outside of this, whatever you type here will be taken as a Python command. If you want to come out, you can give should open and close bracket, it will come out.
So once it's installed, we'll be writing everything in this terminal itself.
Yeah, initially one line command you will be writing in the terminal, but the remaining you will be doing it over, if you're writing a big program, you will be doing it over a tool called VS Code.
Okay. Okay.
But most of the thing you can verify it here. You can do it over here.
So I have a quick question. Does that do any compilation to the machine language and execute runtime like Java and other languages, or how does that go internally?
You wanted to know about the memory handling and what was that? What all you want to know about Python?
No, when you are running this commands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when it is executing, is it
Mm.
converting it into a binary language and executing it from there, or is there any compiler that does that, or a runtime execution will happen like a JVM in Java, something like that, or how does it handle?
So it doesn't require, Python is an interpreted language. So it doesn't require separate compilation step like how you usually do in C++ or Java. Instead, Python code is compiled behind the scene into an intermediate bytecode,
Mm-hmm.
which is then executed by the Python interpreter.
Oh, okay.
So there will be so how what happens is source code to bytecode will happen when you run your Python script. After you write it, you will be running it to execute, right? During that
Mhm.
time, the Python interpreter first compiles the source code into a bytecode, and uh, this bytecode is platform independent. You can do it anyway,
Mhm.
and then it will be interpreted, and you will see the output.
Okay.
We have something called Python virtual machine, um, which will execute the interpreted bytecode. That's how it happens. But it doesn't do the compilation step like a traditional compiled languages like C++ or Java.
Okay, but it has like Java virtual machine. It also has Python virtual machine.
Yeah, true.
Okay. And we generally install that JRE Java runtime environment, all that stuff, right? So here,
Those are
this is
not required. Yeah, yeah. Those not required here. So Tasni, maybe after you install it, usually Mac, what happens is it asks whether you have to move it to bin. You can move it to bin after you complete your installation. That's not a problem. And then what you have to do is maybe after installation, close your terminal and open it. Open it again
Okay,
and
sure.
type Python 3. Okay. Instead of using the same terminal, restart your terminal and give Python 3.
Sure, I'll do that.
So now let me talk about this interpreted and compiled languages, what Mo was asking. So there are something called compiled languages and there are something called interpreted languages. So compiled language is usually fast, like C++, Java. What happens is entire code is taken all at once and ran through compiler. Compiler will check whether the syntax, semantics, whatever you have written are correct. So during the compilation phase only, you will get the syntax error if you have made some mistake, like you have missed some comma or semicolon. And if there is any error at the last line, it's not going to execute any line in the given code and throw an error to the programmer. Okay. So this is how it happens in the compiled languages. But Python is kind of a interpreted languages like JavaScript, Python, Ruby. These are interpreted languages. They are very slow. They are not fast like C or C++. And if there is an error at 10th line in Python, it will execute till 9th line and it will still print the output till the 9th line. You will see somewhere you have given a plus b in the 9th line, you will see the output of a plus b. And after printing it, it will show an error also of the 10th line. So actually what happened, Python is designed in C only. They have taken the C language and 34% of the Python is using C language only. Okay. And but Python helps you to build a wonderful application. Okay, Chandra and Mo installed successfully. I just need confirmation from Tasneem, Fia, Manjay. Yeah, so actually from tomorrow we will be seeing all the operators which we will start doing over the terminal. So while I'm showing it in my terminal, you can you can open your terminal and you can start executing it. Only then this course will be effective. Otherwise, you will feel that you have learned something, but when you are given some assignment, you will get stuck. So from tomorrow, whatever I do, open your terminal and you also do along with me, okay, to understand the concepts. So people apart from Chandra Mu who have the if the okay, Fia also downloaded it. You have to install it. So guys, please install it and verify it by writing Python in the terminal and basic like 1+1. I have posted it in the chat as well. If at all you face any issue with the installation, please post it in the group chat. I would help there. I would reply whenever I see. So after this session, uh, I'll be going for work, my work, and so I would not be using mobile much. But whenever I see the message, I will immediately respond and help you out before tomorrow's session. Everybody should have this installed.